I was talking to a friend who just wrapped up a launch for their online course, and we were just going over their marketing strategy, talking about what worked and what didn't and what they would look at doing differently next time. One of the things they casually mentioned was that they tried some Facebook ads for this launch, but they didn't work and they ended up turning them off before the launch even ended. And now my first thought was, dude, you should have talked to me. We could have figured out a strategy and I could have helped you work out these ads. But then I started thinking about why they didn't work, and we chatted briefly about that. And what I've realized is he fell into the same pattern or trap that so many online course creators, coaches, consultants, and digital product owners fall into, particularly when they do a launch. And that is they treat Facebook ads a little bit like an afterthought, or in other words, they dabble in Facebook ads. They plan this whole big elaborate launch strategy, and yet they approach ads so casually, like a kind of tack on at the end, where they're investing money and expecting a positive return on that ad spend. And we're talking about smart business people here, yet they approach ads without a strategy and with minimal effort. But the reason this is a mistake is because, like anything in business, you get back what you put in. And if you want Facebook ads to really work, you do need to invest time and energy and not just money to make it happen. There was a time, we're talking 5 to 10 years ago now, when you could run some simple Facebook ads as part of a launch and make a really good return. But now it's much more difficult. It's much more competitive. And so if you don't build ads into your strategy as a core piece and devote the time, energy, and attention that's needed to make your Facebook ads work, then it really is just going to be a money sink, or in other words, an expense that you factor into the launch. And the same applies outside of launches. Like if you're running ads to an evergreen funnel or something like that, if you apply this casual approach, or you're really just dabbling, then it's likely not going to work. So that's the first mistake. But let's talk about a few others now that I really often see as reasons for why people run Facebook ads, but they don't actually work for them. And the second one is, they approach ads like amateurs and not professionals. And I don't mean that in a negative way at all. What I mean by this is people come in looking for the latest hack or the latest secret trick to make money with Facebook ads, instead of focusing on honing the craft and becoming good at running ads. Think about athletes or successful business people or anyone who is really successful in their field. They don't sit around looking for a loophole or a magic hack to become successful. They spend time every single day training and becoming really good at their craft. And eventually, over time, they become the best. Now, I'm not saying you have to become the Michael Jordan of Facebook ads if you want to see any type of success. You don't have to dedicate your entire life to Facebook ads to succeed. That's not what I'm saying at all. But you do need to stop this search for some magic setup or some secret strategy that the successful people are using that you just don't know about yet. That's not the key to success. Instead, what you should be doing is just looking at improving the core skills that you need to acquire in order to become better at running ads. So that's audience research, it's copywriting, it's marketing strategy, it's creativity, it's learning how to be creative and actually come up with a great advertising campaign. And it's also conversion rate optimization. You need to learn how to bring leads into your business with ads and convert them into customers. All of these skills are what make a great advertiser. And if you don't want to outsource this, if you do really want to become good at Facebook ads to use them to grow your business, then you should be investing time in acquiring and getting better at each of these skills. That's the secret to winning. It's not finding the latest hack or secret strategy that you don't know about. It's just becoming better at advertising. And I know that sounds super obvious, but the truth is a lot of people are actually using it as a form of procrastination by going and looking for, oh, what's this person doing? What's their secret trick that they know that I don't? Instead of just sitting down and investing the time in learning those skills that I just mentioned. So that's why I feel like, as obvious as it sounds, it needs to be said. So the next mistake that so many digital product owners, course creators, coaches make that really costs them a ton of money is not being on my newsletter. No, seriously, if you're not on my newsletter already, you can click the link below in the description, get on that. Every week, I send out content that I don't share anywhere else to help you become a better Facebook advertiser, better marketer, and to make more money with your creative pursuits, whether that's online courses, coaching, or whatever else that happens to be. So click the link in the description below this video to get on that newsletter if you haven't done that already. So the next huge mistake I see is not testing enough. So many people come to me and they say, hey, look, I ran some Facebook ads, they didn't work, and I'm not sure why. And I say, well, show me the ads. And they say, well, yep, here's the ad. And I'm like, ad singular, not ad plural? They're like, yeah, this is the ad I tried, right? And that's a huge mistake. They put all of this time and effort coming up with an ad when what they should be doing is putting time and effort coming up with an ad strategy and an ad campaign. And that means ads for different purposes, as well as testing multiple ads for each purpose. So let's say it's to a webinar. Well, you want ads for webinar registrations, you want ads promoting your product when the cart opens, you want ads promoting that urgency when the cart is closing, plus a bunch of others. But what so many people do is they will run one or just a couple of ads for, let's say, the webinar registrations portion or the lead gen portion, and that's it. You should be testing lots and lots of different ads. I'm talking 5 to 10 different videos, 5 to 10 different pieces of copy, different headlines, the lot. The reason for that is the only way you're going to find out what works is through testing. And the chances of you coming up with one ad, and that is the best possible ad you can create, is so slim, it's not even worth talking about, right? So if you want to succeed with ads, you need to make sure you are testing lots and lots of different creative, different copy, and different targeting. That's the only way to succeed. Which flows on nicely into the next mistake, which is not testing intelligently. So there's testing and there's testing in an intelligent way. And what I mean by that is testing is just throwing spaghetti at the wall and testing new things without any hypothesis or any strategy behind it. So testing like that could be just, okay, I want to test 5 new images a week. I'm going to create 5 new different graphics, set them up as ads, and just find which one works. Without actually thinking about, well, why am I actually testing this particular image or graphic? Or why am I testing this video? What am I trying to do with this? Another way to put it is what you should be doing is for each thing you test, you should have a hypothesis. So this is what I'm going to test. This is why I'm going to test it. And this is what I think the outcome will be. And you should be using the data that you have available to come up with that hypothesis and to come up with that new test. Meaning you should look at your data, find out where you think there is a problem or what is causing, your high lead costs or your high cost per purchase or whatever it is. And then you should come up with a test to try and fix that. For example, let's say you put 200 new leads through a sales funnel. So you buy 200 new leads with Facebook ads. They go through your complete sales funnel and no one buys. Well, instead of just going, okay, let's just test some new images, you need to look at that and say, okay, we've had 200 leads go through. What is the hypothesis here? And in this case, you might say, well, if we've had 200 leads go through and 0 conversions, then there might be something wrong with the type of person we're attracting with our ads because none of them are buying. We've put 200 people through. You really should have at least 1 or 2 sales from that at this point. So maybe the people we're attracting with the ads aren't the right people. So testing a new graphic or a new video ad or maybe tweaking the copy a little bit probably isn't a smart test to run at this point if it's simply going to attract more of the same avatar or the same type of person. Therefore, your hypothesis is that the leads you're bringing in aren't the right type of person to buy. So the test you can run next is new messaging. So changing the messaging to attract a completely different avatar or different potential customer into your funnel. So different type of person clicking your ads, opting in and coming into your funnel. Then your theory or your expected outcome is that those people are going to be more likely to buy and therefore you will fix your conversion problem, meaning you will get more sales from the number of leads that you're bringing in. So you can see how in this case, you've used data to decide on what am I going to test next? And you've come up with a test that is aiming to fix what you see as a specific problem right now. And then you've come up with a way to approach that and a logical test, and you can build that out and you can run it and see if it works. You buy a bunch more leads and you see, did more of them buy? Well, if yes, then this messaging is better and we can start running more tests around that messaging. Maybe that's when you start running new images and copy and headlines and all of that based around the new messaging. If it doesn't work, then you start to look at other things. Maybe it's not an ad problem, maybe it's a funnel problem, maybe it's something else. But you can see how you should be approaching testing in an intelligent way if you really want to succeed with Facebook ads. And it kind of ties back into what I was saying earlier in terms of approaching this like a professional and not like an amateur. So this is another way to approach your ads like a professional versus just coming in as an amateur and try and throw things around and seeing and hoping that something sticks. Now, the next mistake that people make is failing to really understand their audience. And this kind of flows on from that example I just gave you. So if you don't really spend the time researching and understanding your target audience and understanding everything about them. What is it that they're struggling with? Why is it that they're looking for a solution? Like, what is the ideal outcome that they want from this? Understanding what's holding them back, meaning what are their objections around purchasing a solution for their problem, understanding the way they see the world and what they see as truths at the moment that may not be true, and understanding what it's going to take to get them to the point that they need to be at in order to succeed in whatever it is they want to succeed at, and everything else. By not understanding the audience and simply going in and going, well, I'm going to run some ads, I'm going to slap together some copy, I'm going to send them to a lead magnet and hope they buy something from me. That is a huge problem. And this is an investment of time. It takes time to research and understand the audience. It takes time to craft messaging and to craft a campaign that actually takes your potential customers on a journey from not knowing you to becoming familiar with you, becoming a lead, trusting you enough to then become a customer. You need to really understand that person in depth to then be able to put together a really good Facebook ad campaign, like I just mentioned, that is actually going to generate revenue. Where most people go, okay, I'm going to run some Facebook ads. Here's an idea for some copy. Let's write it up. Let's try a few different variations. You know, in best case scenario, often, like I said, they just test one or two things versus testing a series. And that's why things don't work, because at the core, at the foundation, they don't understand the audience, meaning everything that is created around that, ad creatives, videos, copy, the entire strategy doesn't work because at the basis, there isn't that understanding of the audience. And that is why ad campaigns often don't work. Now, if you want to go deeper into what it takes to succeed with online courses, and this also applies to any digital product or coaching, check out this video next, which is going to walk you through the entire process of marketing an online course from start to finish successfully. And of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, makes a huge difference. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.